Well, I'm pleased to say after a strong performance in 2024, we expect the industry to continue to grow in 2025. So the demand for passenger travel and for cargo travel has been very strong, and that will continue based on all of the evidence we have at the moment. Despite the uncertainty in global markets, it will continue to grow in 2025. So the industry is in good shape, and 2025 should be a good year for the airline industry. So there's clearly a lot of uncertainty around the introduction of tariffs by the US. I think it's difficult to assess at this stage what that impact is going to be as we go through the year, because we've seen announcements of introduction of tariffs which have then been paused. I think what we can comment on at this stage is that it doesn't appear to be having a significant impact on passenger traffic, with the exception of traffic between Canada and the United States. And we've heard comments from the Canadian airlines and some US airlines that they are seeing a small drop-off in demand for travel between the two countries. And I think it's in both directions, from Canada into the US and from the US into Canada. When we look at other markets, there doesn't appear at this stage to be an impact. And indeed, in many markets, we continue to see evidence of strong growth. So, for example, passenger traffic between the Middle East and the US and vice versa continues to grow strongly. And at this stage, is forecast at about 8% ahead of where it was in 2024. So clearly, we'll monitor the situation, but at this point, it's difficult to really get a clear understanding of what's going to happen. And it'll only be when there's greater clarity around the introduction of tariffs that we'll have a better view as to the overall impact. Yeah, for airlines, a lower oil price probably represents an opportunity. We often look at the oil price as a barometer of global economic growth, and when you see a significant fall, it typically would send concerns around lowering GDP growth. We're not seeing that at the moment. I think the impact of the price of oil has been if you like, the focus that the US has in drilling for more oil, so increasing supply, and some uncertainty in the macroeconomic outlook. But the oil price is typically the single biggest price for an airline. On average, it represents about 25% of our cost base. And the lower oil price that we're witnessing today would be seen as a positive for airlines, given the importance of oil fuel for the cost base of an airline. So quite honestly, at this stage, this is a net positive for the airline industry.